welcome to day 7 of your 7-day yoga challenge. Congrats on making it this far. Let's get right to it. We'll begin in a cross-legged position at the top of the mat, taking a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll begin by placing the right hand beside the right hip and inhaling that left arm overhead. Same warm-up as we have been doing, so you should be fairly familiar with this now. Keep that left shoulder rolled out, reaching with those left fingers. Inhale brings you back up to center, and exhale will switch sides. So drop the left hand, right arm comes up and over. Reach those right ribs up towards the sky, and keep that right hip bone pressed down towards the mat. Right shoulder stays away from the right ear. Inhale back up through center, and we will come through some Sufi grinds. So let's drop the chest down on the inhale, roll it all out on the exhale. We'll do 4 in each direction, minding your chihuahua if he's in front of you, and just taking your time. When you've done the 4 going one way, we'll switch sides, so pause at center and switch direction. Taking a moment, any spot that might feel a little extra sore, and just breathing into it. Remembering that this is your practice, I am merely here to guide you. You find what feels good in your body. When we're finished, we'll meet again in center and find our way over to hands and knees. Send the hips back. You may need your block. If you want to grab your block, you can place the block underneath the hips, but we're going to send our hips back for child's pose. Once again, we'll keep our knees together and we'll reach our hands forward. If for whatever reason knees together doesn't feel very good in the body or doesn't feel accessible, you're always welcome to use the knees wide, to place the knees wide. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the elbows. Inhale, press back up through tabletop, and we'll reach the hands down, sending the chest down to the mat for puppy dog. Again, using the block if you need to. But since we are on day 5, I welcome you to try and challenge yourself. See if you can do it without the block. If not, totally fine. Listen to your body. Inhale, press through the hands, remove the block if it's there, and we'll thread our right arm underneath our left shoulder. Right cheek comes down to the mat. Try to keep those hips as much over the knees as you can. I know it's kind of hard to tell where you are, but try to keep the hips square. And we'll inhale, press through that left hand and switch sides. So thread it underneath the right arm. Gaze comes to the right side. Inhale, press through that right hand, and we'll find our way to gate pose. So pivot on that right knee, left leg comes outstretched. Inhale that right arm up and over. So really pressing the mat away with the fingers on the right hand and lifting out of the shoulder on the right side, so we're not dumping all of our weight down. Making one nice long line with that whole left side body. And then we will exhale, release sides, and just spin it right over to the opposite side. Right foot plants, left foot pivots. Inhale that right arm up and over. Keeping those shoulders away from the ears. Doing so keeps a nice long spine. With control, let's come out of it. We'll just place our blocks to the side, and then we'll send our hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Taking a few moments to pedal out the feet before we find some stillness. Really press the mat away with those fingertips. Shoulders roll outwards while they squeeze away from the ears. Hips are high up to the sky, and there's a slight bend in our knees. Next inhale, let's step up to the top of the mat, look up, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up, and exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, hands come to shins, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, come all the way down. Inhale, press through the hands, look up. And exhale to downward facing dog. Just taking a moment here, getting your downward facing dog set up. And then we'll inhale the right foot up, warrior two. Pivot on that back foot, arms come outstretched to either side of the room. Gaze comes over that front middle finger. Roll the shoulders up and back. Squeeze the inner thighs together to find lift through the crown of the head. Next inhale, let's reach for our block, straighten the right leg, and bring the block to the inner side of the right foot. Inhale the left arm overhead, stack the shoulders, and exhale, face the palm to the mat, reach over the head. Keep that left shoulder drawing away from the ear. Extended side angle. Inhale to straighten that front leg. Come right into your triangle, keeping those shoulders stacked once again, making sure we're not rolling that left shoulder down and dumping into that right hand. Place the block beside you, and we'll drop down all the way to our bellies. Inhale to press up, cobra, and exhale, find your downward facing dog. We will switch sides. Pivot on the right foot, inhale, step the left between the hands, open the arms. Gaze over that front middle finger. Draw the belly to the spine, crown stays lifted. Press through all four corners of that front foot. Inhale. Exhale, reach for your block, place it on the inside of that left foot. And inhale to reach that right arm up overhead, stretching out to your right side, making one nice long line with that whole right side of the body. Keeping that lift in the upper body, so we're not dumping into that left hand. Next inhale, straighten the bent leg. Bring your body up into triangle. Maybe playing with the height of the block here. Micro bend in that front knee. Next exhale, let's gaze down, plant the hands, and come all the way down to your belly. Option to come through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra, and exhale, downward facing dog. They're reaching towards that back ceiling with the hips, remembering to keep as much of a bend in those knees as we need. Inhale, gaze comes to the top of the mat, step up, look up, and exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up, hands touch. Exhale, hands through heart center. Surya Namaskara B. Toes come to touch. Drop the hips, inhale into your chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. And exhale, step it back. Come all the way down to the belly. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Pivot on the right foot. Left foot steps up in between the hands. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Hips face forward, warrior one. Check in with that left knee, make sure it's tracking over the left ankle. Take a peek down and make sure you can see the big toe on the left foot. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach for the block. Maybe step that right foot up a little bit. Square off the hips, and we'll reach the chest forward for pyramid. Remembering to keep a nice little bend in that front knee, so we're not locking any joints in place. Next inhale, let's place the blocks to the side. Take a small step back with that right foot, come onto the ball of the foot, and we'll reach back for our high lunge. This time, let's interlace the fingers and just press them gently into the lower back, arching the upper back, coming into a mini back bend in our high lunge. Release the clasp, gaze to the top of the mat, inhale, step back up, and we will switch sides. So let's take a step back with the left foot, bend through the right knee, square off the hips, inhale, arms come up overhead. Sink into those hips, draw the belly to the spine, really pressing through both of those feet, finding lift. Inhale, straighten that front leg, reach for the blocks. Take a little hop up with that left foot, square off the hips, and reach the chest forward for your pyramid pose. Remembering that micro bend in the front knee. Inhale to reach, and exhale to release. Place the blocks to the side, come onto the ball of the back foot. Inhale up, find your high lunge. Change the clasp of the hands, roll the shoulders back, and gently press into the sacrum as we lift the chest for a mini back bend. Always have the option to drop the back knee. Next exhale, frame the foot, come all the way down to the belly. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, send the hips up, downward facing dog. Few breaths here in your downward facing dog. Find lift through the shoulders. Keep the palms of the hands lifted, really gripping the mat with those fingertips. Next inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, step up, look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, drop the hips, raise the arms. Exhale, straighten the legs. Hands come through heart center. Let's come into our mountain pose just for a moment, Tadasana. So feet are hips distance, shoulders are rolled back, and the palms are facing forward. Standing at the top of our mats, taking a pause, maybe closing the eyes. Perhaps keeping the eyes closed, let's inhale, arms come up overhead. Clasp the left wrist with the right hand, and we'll exhale, send the hips to the left for a side bend. Closing the eyes will challenge your stability, so see what works for you. If you need to open them, by all means. Inhale back to center, and we will switch sides. This time sending the hips over to the right side. Arms reach over to the left. Inhale back up to center, and we will set up for tree. So shift the weight into that left foot, and either draw your right heel beside your left ankle, or you can come into the full expression and draw the sole of the foot up to the inner left thigh. Option to keep the hands at heart center, or raise them up. Wherever you are, finding a spot to focus. It's always better if that spot is not moving. And play with your balance. If you fall out of it, just come right back into it. Exhale to release, shake it out, and we'll set up for the opposite side. So take an inhale, shift the weight into that right foot. Exhale, left foot comes either to the right ankle or all the way up into the inner thigh. Find your balance. Hands can come either to heart center or raise them up, extending your branches Find your spot of focus and hold. Slowly release the hands if they were up, and release the foot, shaking it out once again. All right, let's have some fun here. So we're going to have a couple of options. So option 1 is to come down into chair, open the arms wide, cross the right arm under left, and practice your eagle arms here. Option 2 is we will cross our right foot over the left thigh, sink the hips down, and then open up your arms, cross the right under left, and hold here. So we have a bit of a pigeon prep pose and also an eagle pose. Option 3 is to come into the full expression. So we'll cross our right leg over the left. Option to hook the toes around the left shin. Sink the hips down. And then same thing with the arms. Open your wings and cross the right arm underneath the left. So wherever you are, we're going to hold here. Draw those elbows up a little bit higher and find your spot of focus. So bringing a nice stretch to the upper body while we strengthen the lower body. Inhale back up to center, release, and we will switch sides. So depending on what you did on this side, let's do the same thing on the opposite side. So option 1 is your chair with eagle arms. Option 2 is just crossing that left ankle over the right leg and then coming into your eagle arms, switching the left arm underneath this time. Or option 3, come in to the full pose. So wherever you are, let's cross the leg over or come down into your chair. Inhale, arms out nice and wide. Exhale, left arm comes underneath the right. Try to bring the palms to touch, not a big deal if they don't. And draw those elbows up. Gaze focuses ahead of you. Inhale to release. Enjoy falling out of it if you do, and shake it off. Awesome. Let's step to the top of our mat if we're not already there. Grab one of our blocks, inhale wide, and exhale. Drop it underneath the hips for Malasana Yogi Squat. Maybe playing with the height a little bit. We're going to stay here today. Let's place the right hand on the floor. Right shoulder comes to the inner right thigh, and then inhale that left arm up, opening your wings nice and wide here. It's bringing a bit of a twist into our squat. Release that left hand, and we'll switch sides. Bring the inner shoulder on the left side to the inner left thigh. Open that right arm up. And you could be anywhere in between here. So if you can't reach the floor, that's fine. Just twist open to the right side with the right arm. Release the arms, and we'll remove the block if we were sitting on one. Bring them with us, and we will shift the hips back. Take a bend through the knees, draw the toes up to the shins. Inhale brings you lift, and exhale to fold. Come into your forward fold. So again, bringing your hands to either your shins, your toes, or your top of your feet. Inhale brings you lift, and exhale brings you a bit deeper. Let's come back up, and we will widen the legs. See if you can draw them just a little bit wider than we did yesterday. Right hand comes to the inner right thigh. Inhale that left arm up once again. Similar to how we did in our Malasana Yogi Squat. Undoing the eagle arms. Release and switch sides. So left palm comes to left shin, inner left shin, and open that right arm up nice and wide. Release that hand. Draw the legs together, and we'll bring the soles of the feet together in front of us in Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. You can try drawing the heels a bit closer in to the body, and then inhale, sit up tall, roll the shoulders up and back. Release the legs, and we will roll down all the way to our backs. Cross the right leg over the left. Either stay here or draw that left leg up to the chest, interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh. Release the left leg, and we will switch sides. So plant the right foot, cross the left over. Inhale, interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. Trying to switch the interlace every time we do it. Drawing those shoulders and the sacrum down to the mat. Release the leg. Extend the arms out wide or place them in cactus. Send the hips over to the left side and knees over to the right. This time, let's try stacking our knees a bit more than we have been. So doing our twist with a little bit more intention today. Inhale back through center, square the hips, shuffle them over to the right side, and drop the knees to the left. So same thing on this side. See if you can stack the knees a bit more. Keep that right shoulder glued to the mat. Inhale, bring the knees back up to center, square the hips. Widen the feet, drop the knees together, and we'll bring one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly. Slowing down the breath. Let's do a quick scan of the body. So just working up from your feet, all the way up the legs, through the torso, down the arms, and all the way to the crown of the head. Just take a moment to observe how the body feels. Draw the knees up to the chest. Head comes close. Give yourself a big hug, and we'll slowly rock up to seated. Finding your way to cross-legged, opposite leg in front. Rolling the shoulders up and back. Let's close our practice one last time. The big sigh. So exhale all the air out. Big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. That is all for today's practice, and that is all for the 7-day yoga challenge. Congratulations, and we'll see you on the mat next time.